Now going over to the culture part of the podcast, you have Bud Light Fly Eagle, the video, but the eagle, the wing is kind of broken, so it crashes precipitously. Now this is, again, Bud Light attempting to tweet and crawl out of the grave that it dug itself with Bud Light business blunder of the century with, again, hiring a brand ambassador whose average audience member is 15 years old. Not a very prudent business decision. Now, the tweet from Bud Light says, "Fly Bud Light Fly. Fly, Bud Light Fly." And I do have a picture of an eagle in terms of the emoji. So perhaps someone in the marketing department has more than 8 brain cells. Maybe, because the emoji is kind of clever. I'll give them that. But they were pretty lazy. They actually did a partnership with the Philadelphia Eagles. So it looks like they retweeted their video. Now, the jokes write themselves. I can't help but think the average audience member of the Philadelphia Eagles, they probably don't appreciate this partnership with Bud Light. And again, I don't think it makes their brand look good considering all the controversy. And the Philadelphia Eagles, they say, or rather they ask, best way to kick off your home opener with Bud Light? No, it is definitely not, if they're asking me. But nevertheless, they say, by flying through the city of brotherly love. Brotherly love, Bud Light. Oh, come on. Are they just trying to have the jokes write themselves these days? Nevertheless, they continue to say, make game days, quote, easy like Sunday, unquote, and toast to a season of owning every kickoff, every tailgate, and every moment with Bud Light, unquote. Then they hashtag easy to Sunday, fly Eagle fly, hashtag Bud Light. And then they have this short 1 minute and 20 attempt at a commercial, which I will play now. Now, if you know any good softwares, and again, I'm constantly evaluating new tech, I'm literally looking for a good picture-in-picture production software so I can incorporate this in real time. If you have any suggestions, please leave in the comments and we'll make the show better together. I appreciate your input. And without too much further ado, I will play a video. So Bud Light Eagle, or I guess it's the Philadelphia Eagle, putting a Bud Light into a Bud Light drone, and it's got the graffiti eagle on the can. So it's a limited edition can. Ooh. Looks like someone pretending to be Sylvester Stallone as Rocky.
You're really late, bud. Thanks for the delivery.
Imagine how terrible he would have performed in real life. And instead of actually drinking like egg whites or egg yolks, you drink Bud Light. So it's flying all over the city, terrorizing all the citizens.
A screenless kite! A Bud Light! What a delight!
Benjamin Franklin, well, obviously he's not the real one, but someone pretending to be Benjamin Franklin being delighted by seeing a Bud Light and picking it up and then allegedly drinking it. They don't show that on screen. That's kind of just industry standard. But Benjamin Franklin, who again was a patriot, I don't think he would drink a Belgian-based beer company. Probably not. No, he would probably just pour it out. Which many would argue is the most appropriate spot, geographically speaking, for Bud Light is on the floor. Although, the plants would presumably die.
Did you drink?
So now you have a drink between Benjamin Franklin and Rocky, which is probably as accurate as the things they teach at public schools these days in the United States. Unfortunately.
Easy to enjoy.
Now, it would have been so much better if they had that historical founding father who said, I cannot tell a lie. And if he were the one to pretend to drink a Bud Light, and then he would say, I enjoy it, or it's easy to drink. Because he can't tell a lie, you see, so he couldn't say that. He would just kind of stutter. Like, it's easy. It's easy. Like, that was a joke right there. But nevertheless, it looks like the comments are equally as mediocre as the video in itself. So it looks like, and again, we'll do some real life fact checking today because there appear, and I'm going to be very careful with how I word this, there appear to be real positive comments. That sounds too good to be true. Let's dive in. Somebody by the name of James Russell says, beer 30. Although he got 0 likes at 534 views. And Bud Light responded to that saying, best time of the day. Are they encouraging alcoholism, I suppose? Now we look at James' profile, Mr. James Russell. He has 30 followers. He appears to be a proud Democrat. He says, quote, I'm a Democrat who will vote third party if Joe Biden gets the nomination again. Time to change. Vote Robert Kennedy Jr. 2024. Hashtag Kennedy 24. Now, hilariously enough, because you're a Democrat, that'll never happen. Because Democrats believe in superdelegates, which is a great way to ignore what the public actually wants. So there's a 0% chance that Robert F. Kennedy gets nominated. It's not going to happen. It's not that I don't believe that. I think he has some exceptional ideals that I appreciate. But no, the system will not let him. Very similar to how the Democrats blocked out Bernie Sanders when Bernie Sanders had the votes. They just blocked him. Rigging the game is something they seem to specialize in, although I shall not elaborate from there. But yeah, so James is a proud Democrat, reposting for Domino's Pizza, CBS Sports, football. Wow, he got 1 like on this one. He said, you notice Republicans are easily manipulated and easily controlled. They can't resist responding when they're upset. A little bit of the, the pot calling the kettle black, perhaps? He did get 1 like, though. Now, not to brag, but last week I got 2 likes on my tweet at NICTOPPING or at The Topping Show, dealer's choice. Now, this person appears to be real. A rarity in and of itself. You have a real person responding to Bud Light with a positive statement. Let's investigate the second. Yeah, there's 2. No, there's 3 of the thousands of responses. One meme just says go to hell. So that's definitely not positive. Of all the responses, there's 3 real ones. The second one is from Momers. This person says, go birds. And Bud Light says, birds. Bud Lights. With a handshake emoji. Which doesn't even sound like proper English from a response perspective. Perhaps the person just went to public school in their marketing department at Bud Light. Well, Alyssa Hydroshaw surely went to, we know she went to a prestigious college because that's what she learned. Now it looks like Mr. Momers has 130 followers. Looks to be from Massachusetts. Looks like reposting. All right, looks like he is a fan of the sports balls. More baseball. So he appears to be a real person. I'll be damned. Interesting. So he appears to be a real person in a positive response. Although he's saying go birds, so he's clearly supporting the Philadelphia Eagles. But nevertheless, a positive response on Bud Light's timeline, or rather to Bud Light's tweet. We should take a moment of silence to remember this rare occasion. It may never happen again, I suspect. You guys have somebody named Greg Berber, and that person, by the way, got 1 like. Mr. Greg Berber has a GIF, or a GIF, as the youth might say, and it just says, it's a Philly thing, and a picture of the eagle. How original. The person got 1 like out of 476 views. Wow. And Bud Light responded saying, easy to drink to Philly. Which, have they won a Super Bowl since Mark Wahlberg was their quarterback? When's the last time they were good? Is it really easy to drink? I don't know about that. Now, interestingly enough, the rest of them are, of course, negative. And interestingly enough, the top one is our reliable source, Mr. Rich Mooney. He is the one who does the fun polls to say, what will you buy today in terms of a beer preference? Now, Rich Mooney says, quote, Bud Light is sponsoring a all-ages drag show along with the Blasphemous Sisters of Perpetual Indulgence as part of their sponsorship of the Phoenix Pride Parade next month. Does this impact your choice of beer? And you got the two choices. The first one being make mine a Bud Light, and no, do not make mine a Bud Light. Or more accurately, an Anheuser InBev product. And the results are in at 88 votes. 87.5% of people said no, Anheuser-Busch InBev product for me. Which, interestingly enough, that means 12.5% of the people who voted said they would want a Bud Light because they're sponsoring a child drag show. Or, I should clarify, a child, quote-unquote, child-friendly drag show. I have to say quote-unquote because there's no such thing as a child-friendly drag show, just like there's no such thing as a child-friendly strip club. It's not a thing. And it's quite concerning they're making it up. Now, someone actually responded, Mr. Aiden Updates Fanboy, interesting, and he says, every Republican supports Bud Light, quote-unquote. Now, he has no love. When I mean that, he has no likes out of 608 views. Now, interestingly enough, Anheuser-Busch InBev does have lobbyists who can, and they actually raise money for I believe some GOP donors or GOP candidates. So they support them, but I don't know about the inverse. In terms of the politics of who's doing the boycott, most people I know who are boycotting are on the middle or right of the political spectrum. So, I'm not sure about that. And then Rich Mooney actually responded to that gentleman saying, quote, Bud Light is sponsoring all ages drag show along with the Blasphemous Sisters of Perpetual Indulgence as part of their sponsorship of the National Pride Parade next month in Phoenix. I guess they're doubling down, hashtag no Bud Light. And in that, he actually has screenshots of the website where it shows Bud Light being the premier sponsor, which when it comes to events, activities, you usually have different levels of sponsorships. Traditionally, like in technology, for an IT event, you'll have like a platinum sponsor, a gold sponsor, and a silver sponsor, and maybe a bronze sponsor. So, and of course, the more precious the metal, the more money that company spends, and the more the logo is displayed, and it's usually larger at the top. So it looks like Bud Light is going all in. And they've been supporting LGBT events for about 40 or 30 years now. So that, to me, that's not the controversy. I think more people are concerned about the targeting to kids as well as the new trans debate or the cultural conversation that's come across the United States. And I think that's more the fuse of why there's a boycott. You also have people who are LGBT who are boycotting it because specifically Bud Light did not stick with Dylan Mulvaney, as they would say. Specifically, a couple holding companies in Chicago, they actually proudly said they will not have any Anheuser-Busch InBev products at the bars they own because they, quote-unquote, did not stick with Dylan. So many people are participating in this boycott, and I don't see it turning around anytime soon. And as I'm scrolling through the other comments, I'm not seeing any positive. You have somebody by the name of Ralph Hughes saying, did you apologize yet? And he actually has a picture from the dailymail.com, an article that shows an LGBT parade with a big Bud Light logo and a truck, presumably perhaps a Ford, maybe, I don't know. But it has naked adults in front of children. And the tagline for that article says, Bud Light served as official sponsor at Toronto Pride Parade, where wild footage shows naked men marching and dancing in front of children and families along the parade route, unquote. And he actually got 8 likes and 117 views. So pretty typical. Most responses are overall negative. And when I do see the positive ones, I can't help but see the parallels with the politics. And with the evidence we have right now, it seems like Bud Light is leaning into it. Again, they've sponsored parades for years, but the drag shows are a newer thing, and they're seem to be doubling down. Will this increase their sales? I mean, maybe by 0.5 percentage point. Again, that's a growing community, so over the 100-year span, if the growth rates are the same in terms of we've seen them doubling every generation, then Bud Light could become profitable. But I don't suspect they were prudent enough to have the long-term business vision and actually having this be intentional, which is kind of proven by the fact that the marketing executives were put on an indefinite leave of absence and they had to lay off so many people. So I can't help but think it was an attempt at a commercial. The attempt was made, but like most Bud Light initiatives, this Eagle, it had a broken wing and it subsequently crashed, perhaps into a Philly cheesesteak. Thank you everyone again for taking the time to tune in. I know it's ambitious trying to get to 4,000 subscribers by the end of September, so if you could click that button, I'd greatly appreciate it. Also, don't forget to take the time to tell your families, tell your coworkers, tell your enemies, heck, tell anyone and everyone. Just stay safe and fight the good fight.